Hey, what is up guys, it is Cam with you here today. Today we're going to be doing a Premiere Pro tutorial. This is just going to be a basic run through of just getting you started with Premiere Pro. This is not for the professionals who want to know how to do literally everything in Premiere Pro. This is for if you are new to Premiere Pro and you just kind of want to get a head start on what you are doing in Premiere Pro. This video is going to really help you out a lot. So right now we are opening up Premiere Pro. It is taking a minute because I have the screen recorder going. So give it just a minute. Okay, so we are going to create a new project. Now do notice this is a paid version of this. I have paid for 1 month of the Creative Cloud membership. So normally it'll say like, if you have a trial version, it's going to say 30 days remaining, da 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 da, or whatever. So when this comes up, you're going to click New Project. It's going to come up with this screen, and you just need to give it a name. So for this one, we're just going to do like tutorial, if I can type today. So basically, you don't need to mess with any of this for the basics. Location, you do need to change this though. This is where all of your files and saves will be put. So wherever you want this video to be saved at, or wherever you want the files to be saved at, this is what you need to go to. So here's a file that I did for a wedding, and here's like the Adobe folders that it created by itself. So we're going to go into this folder, going to go to YouTube videos, and we're just going to do tutorial. Okay, so double click tutorial, select folder. Okay, we're good to go. Click OK, and it's going to load up with Premiere Pro. So I'm just going to go to the default layout since this is not the standard layout. So this is the standard layout for Premiere Pro. I normally have this a little bit different because I deal with a massive amount of files whenever I edit. So down here is where your media will be. So whenever you import files, all of them are going to be right here. This is your source monitor. So I'll show you this here in a minute. This is where your main output's going to be. This is where you can like preview your files and know where to cut. And this is your timeline where you drag and drop and cut and edit your stuff. This is the main editing window right here. So we're just going to go ahead and open up some files. We're going to go into my video drive, video projects. Going to do one of the YouTube videos that I've already posted and just kind of show you how I edit. And we're going to do this NW800 review. No, we're going to do something different. We're going to do the Gatekeeper 2.0 review. It has over 5 gigs of data in it. So we're just going to import all these, and we're going to cut out, let's see, I just want to get video files. Make this a little bit easier. But I cannot find where it says that. So we don't need these JPEG images. This is from a review I did. So we won't need any images. Whoa. Oops. Okay, so now we just have the movie selected. We're going to click open, and it's going to import all these files. Now do note, using an SSD with your computer or a solid state drive is going to rapidly increase this. This is going pretty fast right now. If you have a hard drive, it's going to take quite a long time to import a lot of video. Excuse me, that yawn. So here's all of our clips that we can use. So one cool thing about this, we're going to increase the size of our thumbnails here to where we can see these a little bit easier, is if you click somewhere on this, or if you can just like hover your mouse over it, it's going to kind of scroll and scrub through it. So let's say, okay, I want to preview what this file is going to look like, or what this video file looks like. I believe it's 1 minute and 24 seconds long. Just double click it. It's going to open it up in the source monitor up here, and we can actually take a closer look at it, and we can actually like hear it and actually be able to preview it. So here's your little scrub bar. so we can just scroll through this. I'm not sure if you all are able to hear this or not. I've been kind of having some issues. Let me check to see if I'm actually even. I don't even think I am. Am I? I don't know. Let me listen. Check. Okay, so yeah, you can kind of hear me. Maybe this will help a little bit. Okay, so since we have this open in the source window now, we can actually play through it. And I've like prepping stuff. So here's just some of the sources where I messed up in it and some other stuff. So we need to find our intro. So I'm not exactly sure which one's the intro. I don't think I have all the files here. So basically it's going to drag. We're basically going to click and drag this file over to the timeline, and it's going to show this little hand and plus right here. When you release it, it's going to come up with this right here. This is the entire video sequence for the clip you just dragged over. Now some stuff about this. Here's your timeline up here, so you can actually just like scroll through this. You can just click anywhere and it'll scroll through it. Okay, so to add transitions, we're gonna go ahead and go to that. You're gonna go up here to okay, so your effects are gonna be down here. I like to drag my effects up to here to where I have the effects and the effects controls in the same tab. So I'll show you how I did that. You basically just click it and you can drag it basically anywhere. If you want it to be a separate one, you can even drag it over to the second screen, because I have a screen to the right of this window, so like I can drag it over to here, but you cannot see that. But yeah, you can drag it to things like this, and it's going to be right there. I can just drag it right back up there. So video transitions. So you have your effects right here. You have presets. So those are just like some weird ones. Lumetri presets. This is for like color correction, or if you want to give it like a cinematic look. I can even do something like this, and it'll give it like a really cool cinematic look. But we're not going to worry about that right now because we don't really need to. Phew, I'm yawning today like crazy. So we don't need to mess with this. You can mess with this if you want to, and basically just control everything in the effects controls panel. So let's say we want to dissolve the video and kind of give it like a fade in. So we're going to go right here where it says video transitions. Go away, email. We're going to go here to dissolve. We're going to click cross dissolve. We're going to drag it, click and drag to the front of the clip, and you see where it highlighted that right there. Now I don't know why mine does this like this. This is just like a transparency layer. So in the actual video this will be like black and it'll actually just fade in. So my computer is going to be a little bit slower because I have a screen recorder running while I'm trying to video edit, and video editing takes up quite a bit of CPU, so I'm going to run this at quarter quality. If your CPU is slower, if your computer is not as fast as it needs to be for video editing like this, for video playback you can go right here. I normally leave it at full, but since I have a screen recorder running that takes up a lot of processor, I'm just going to leave it at 1/4. So that'll lower the resolution that it plays back at. Notice that this will not change the resolution of the video. It's only for the preview. So that's what that transition does. And yes, it is going to stutter quite a bit because yet again I do have a screen recorder running. So I'm going to show you now how to cut clips. If let's say I want to cut this right here, 14 seconds. You have two ways of doing this. You can either go over here to your little tools panel and click this razor tool right here, and you can cut. Just drag it to where you want to cut it at, and click, and it's going to separate those into two different videos. It'll be the same video, only it'll be in two parts. So I can just like, drag this anywhere I want to. Or if you notice when you hover over each tool, it has a letter to the right of it. So let's say I want to cut this. I'm going to press the C button on my keyboard, click C, and it's going to come up with that razor tool. And so I can cut anywhere I want to. You get all cut happy. Woo! Cut, 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 cut. Okay, I'm having too much fun. Okay, so to drag around clips, you need to make sure that the selection tool is selected. Select the selection. Or you can press V on your keyboard and you can select clips. You can drag them around. You can change the audio tracks that they're on. Simple things like that. You can also select multiple clips and drag them all at once. So let's say I only want to drag these right here. I can change what layer those are on. Notice that whatever is on the upmost or top layer is what is going to be shown. So for example, if I have this clip right here, if I drag it over to here, it won't be shown because there's another video over the top of it. Ooh, excuse me. Now notice that do note that this does not apply for audio. Whatever's in the audio, whatever is in the audio, regardless of the track, will play. So that is something you need to experiment with. So there's the basics of kind of getting the timeline down. There's some other tools like the hand tool, like I can drag the timeline, but I don't ever use that. I just use my mouse wheel to scroll. You could even do this where you extend it and you can actually see previews of your videos. So if you like hover over, let's say I want to see the audio peak levels of my video, I can go right over here to where the audio is, A1, A2, A3, da da da, stuff like that. I don't even have to click. Just try to scroll up and you'll be able to see. Now if you run out of room, that's okay. Right over here there's a little tool, or there's a little place just like on this timeline that you can just drag the end of it down, and then you'll be able to see both of them. Or you can just drag it in general and you can see basically all of them. So here's like the audio peaks for this one. And you can do all of that. Like I said, I don't remember if you guys can hear this or not. So yeah, this is basically like a scroll. So if you want to see more, then basically just drag this and you're zoomed out. Same way for the timeline. If you want to see more, or if you want to see something up close, then you can do like this, where you can see the peak levels easier. Or you can do this to where you have a wider view of everything. So yeah, like the smallest that this goes down to is pretty dang small. So that's the basics of that. The next thing I'm going to show you is I'm going to show you how to control your effects. So let's say I do a lumetri. Let's say I want to kind of do a color correction on this like you would do in Adobe Lightroom. I'm going to go up here, I'm going to type lumetri color. You don't even have to type it all. Under color correction, you're going to click it once and you're going to click and drag down to on top of the clip that you want to color correct. And now it says FX on it and it's purple. Pretty sure that's what it controls. So then we're going to drag our cursor basically to the timeline or the clip selection that we want to do. We're going to go up here to Effects, Controls, and here's all the controls that you have over that effect. So right here where it says lumetri color, you can do need a ellipse mask to where if I just want to color correct, let's say my face, then I can do that. So if you don't want to do that, then just don't click these, and it's fine. You can even control the mask path, and that's something advanced that you can find in other tutorials. I won't cover that in this video today. I'm going to try to keep this under 30 minutes. Under basic correction, you're going to click this little triangle to the side of it. That's going to give you like your temperature. So let's say I want to increase the temperature of my face. Okay, there you go. If I want to give it a cooler temperature, okay, whatever. So we're going to set that back to 0. Tell you what, we're just actually going to delete this for now. We're going to delete that mask. So if I want to color correct the whole film, or the whole sequence, or the clip, here's all your settings right here that are basics. So the temperature, I want this to be, okay, a little bit warmer. I'm going to set the color temperature to plus 30. That's going to make it a little bit warmer. Say I don't want it that warm. Okay, just enter half that, 15. Okay, it's a little bit warmer. If I need to adjust the tint, like if it's too green, like let's say if there's a slight bit of green in your video, like that, then I can always just adjust that. Or if there's too much red, then I can always adjust that. Think of this as Adobe Lightroom for Premiere Pro. So under tone, we can adjust the exposure. So let's say I need to brighten this up a little bit. This is very sensitive, so let's just say 0.2. That's going to brighten it up some. Okay, I need a little bit more. Okay, let's say 0.5. Okay, that's a little bit brighter. Let's say I want to add contrast. So I'm not sure which way this one goes. Okay, so this one you have to go pretty far. It goes from -150 to 150. So let's say I want to increase the contrast by let's say like 30% or something. So 30% of 150, I don't know where I've thought my head. So let's just say I want to add 50 contrast. So 50, boop, done. And I'll show you the difference between 0 and 50. That's 50 right there that you're looking at. That's 0. So let's say I want to leave this at 25 contrast, just to give it a little bit better color. Okay, so let's say the highlights, like on this box right here and on the refrigerator and the shiny parts of the metal, say I want to get rid of those. -150. That's going to get rid of basically all the highlights. Now if I want to show highlights, then of course I'm just going to go the other way. So let's say 50 highlights. But that's going to make everything washed out, and it's actually going to give it a really cinematic look. Or it's actually going to kind of give it a cinematic look since it's kind of washed out. So let's set this at -25. Okay. So shadows, so that's going to be like, it's going to keep my shirt and like the shadow or the darkness of this keychain right here. Let's say I want to brighten those up. Okay, say +25. Whoa, that is way too much. Oh, I accidentally pressed 150. So let's say I want to enter that 25. Okay, that's going to brighten up these darks a little bit. The whites are similar to the highlights. Anything that's whites, let's say -150, just to show you what that looks. That looks terrible. So we're just going to set this to 150. That's also terrible. So we're just going to set that back to 0. The blacks are the same way. So if I want to go -150, that's going to make everything look really dark. And if I set it to +150, well, what was that? So if I set this to 150, then the blacks are just going to be washed out and sun bleached. So let's set that back to 0. And you can always just reset everything, so that's reset. Or if you just kind of want it to do its own thing, you can just click automatic, and that looks absolutely awful. So we're not going to do that. So we're just going to click reset. You can also change your saturation right here. So if I want to have just black and white video, I can go over here to saturation, click 0, be done. Or I can set it, say, I can go all the way up to 300 saturation, which actually looks freaking terrible. So let's say I want to just give it a little bit better saturation. Let's go 120. That's going to saturate the colors a little bit more. So we're just going to leave that at 100, which is normal. You can also add other things like the faded film look. So let's see what this does. So that's going to make it look really faded. So we're just going to leave that at 0. Sharpen, you can sharpen up your video. So set that at, I can set that at like 150. And it's going to give it a really sharp looking video. Now if we zoom in, let's just leave this at 0 for now. one thing I'm going to show you real quick is if you want to zoom in on a video, so let's say I want to just zoom in on this little section right here. Since it's cut, you have to have its own place. So it has to be cut just where you want it to zoom in. So I'm going to drag my timeline cursor over to that clip. I'm going to click it, or make sure your selection tool is selected. I'm going to click it. I'm going to double click this screen, and you see where you have your points. So you have your 8 points. I can drag it and zoom in. That's the best way that I do it. So like if I want to zoom in on my face, which that absolutely looks awful, or if I want to zoom in on this down here, that really helps. So we're just going to reset this. So if you right click on the clip, it's going to give you all these different things. So we're going to go down here, we're going to select scale to frame size. No, that was wrong. I just told you wrong. We're going to click set to frame size. Oh, we didn't press enter. You have to press enter to make the change. So set the frame size. Okay, this isn't working. Or you can just manually do it and just set it back to the original. Oh, we didn't click off of it. Well, I'm not sure what's wrong with that. Okay, whatever. So we're just gonna set that back close enough. Okay. So let's go into some other effects, shall we? Let's go under. We're gonna go under video effects. I don't really mess around with this much. You can just mess around under here. Don't be afraid to screw up. That's my thing. You can also adjust your video stuff right here. You can blur and sharpen it. It's like a Gaussian blur and all that, but I don't worry about that. That's for advanced users. So yeah, that's basically the basics to get started with Premiere Pro. So here's all your project files. You can sort them either by list or by thumbnail, and you can adjust the size of your thumbnails. You can drag these windows anywhere you want to. Go to your media browser, so if you want to pull up a clip from your hard drive, external hard drive, network drive, whatever, you can do that as long as your network drive is mapped. Here's your libraries. That's your Creative Cloud libraries for stock images and things like that. So like you can search Adobe stock. Info about the clip that you select. So let's say I want to get info about this clip right here. Okay, it's going to show me all the metadata on it. Well, some of the metadata on it. Your markers, that's for advanced users. History, that's all your history. It goes back 32 steps. Here's your audio clip mixture, so if you want to adjust the audio, here's basically A1, A2, and A1, A2, and A3. Those are your basic channels, so that's channel 1, channel 2, channel 3, channel 1, channel 2, channel 3. Another way to adjust the audio on your clips is if you right click it, you can go up here to audio gain, and you can set the gain. If you are familiar with gain, let's say I want to make this just a little bit quieter, I'm going to set this -5, and it's going to be slightly quieter. I don't mess with the audio stuff like this. It's something that's unnecessary because I can control the audio of each individual clip with audio gain. Excuse me, I'm yawning so much today. So yeah, guys, that is basically the basics of Premiere Pro. The last thing, you've got your different layouts up here. So if you want to do color correction, there's all your lumetri scopes and things like that. That's for advanced users. Most people don't understand those. I don't even understand those, and I'm pretty experienced with Premiere Pro. Yeah, so all panels. It's going to show all the panels possible. Assembly, if you're just wanting to assemble video and then edit it later. Effects, audio, titles, so you can set your titles easier, things like that. So yep, that is the basics for Premiere Pro to just get you started. Like I said, guys, don't be afraid to screw up. It is not going to hurt you basically any at all, because they do make a Control-Z button for a reason. But yeah, don't be afraid to screw up. If you screw up, you can always just uninstall the program and reinstall it. It's no big deal. There's also a master reset button somewhere in the program, I'm sure. I just haven't experimented with it. So thank you guys for watching this video. Like this video if you liked it, and dislike if you thought it sucked. Leave a comment in the video description below if you have future recommendations for videos, or if you have comments on this one. Also in the description below, you can check out our social media links, so that's Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Go check those out and link in the description below. We've updated some new things on our sites. Also, go check out the website. We have completely redone the website, and I also have my own personal website for photography now, so you can go check those out anytime that you please. So thank you guys for watching this video, and do not forget to subscribe for future videos like this and more awesome videos in the future. Peace out.